5:30. Welcome to the November meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm going to call this meeting to order. The first up is the citizens' general discussion. If there's anybody here who would like to speak to the commission regarding something in general, regarding planning and zoning, not something specific to any agenda item tonight, now would be the time to do so. Does anybody wish to speak? All right, I'll go ahead and close the citizens' general discussion. Next up is the approval of minutes. We need to consider the approval of October 15, 2025 meeting minutes. Commissioners?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the October meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All right, next up, application number RZ 9272, applicant Lee Bristow, representing Summer Moon Equity, is requesting a rezone for property located at 957 Cray, parcel R32202, being block 1, lot 2B of the Kite Second Edition of the City of Stephenville, Erath County, Texas, from R1 single family residential to R3 multifamily. Mr. Killen.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Mr. Bristow is requesting R3 zoning in his application. He indicated that he's looking to build townhome style energy efficient housing. Because he mentioned townhome, I did reach out to the applicant and mentioned to him that the R3 zoning is more for multifamily, and the R2.5 would be the zoning requirement for townhome construction. He indicated at that time that he was pretty comfortable with the R3 zoning and wanted to leave it as presented on the application, and so just wanted to make that point that he and I have had that conversation. I believe he's here tonight, and he can speak to that in more depth relating to the topic construction. The future land use for this property is complete neighborhood, and the intended project would fall within that designation. GIS is showing this portion of Fry to have approximately 44 foot of right-of-way. 50 foot is required, so there may be additional right-of-way dedication based on the survey once he gets to that point. It's a flag-shaped property with 75 foot of frontage. The depth is approximately 224 foot deep. Contours indicate the property is fairly flat. Sewer is shallow, but at 56 inches deep. So we believe, based on what I learned through my meetings with Public Works, that the connection to that sewer line, because of the depth, should give them adequate fall without having to consider any type of lift station or anything of that nature. Again, the applicant is present tonight, and I'd be glad to answer any questions of the commission, and thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Killen?
With this being a multifamily, the amount of parking that's going to be there is going to need a retention area for the water.
During the review process, he will be required to provide a drainage analysis and possibly a full civil plan set with detention. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Other questions?
Well, it's not a question. I went by there and it just, so it'd be the only townhome in that, on that street, in that area, it looks like. I'm just saying, it would look like a really tight
Okay.
spot.
Yeah, we'll save that for discussion.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay. Any questions for Mr. Killen? All right, I'm going to go ahead and invite Mr. Bristow to come on up and give us a description of what you're planning on doing on this property.
Yeah, it's really just a 6-unit, 2-floor townhome apartment style building is what we're going for. But we just wanted to make the most of the space because it is a bigger lot.
Okay. So you're looking to build apartments, not townhomes?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So 6 units, how many beds?
3 bedrooms each, 2.5 bath.
6 units with 3 beds each?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, other questions? Where are you thinking of putting the parking?
On the front, because it is a flag shape, so the buildings will go on the back.
In the back, and then the parking would be?
Yes, ma'am.
Where the house is right now?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open a public hearing. Is there anybody here who wishes to speak in favor or against this rezone request? All right, I'll close the public hearing. Commissioners, we need a motion, and then we can discuss.
I recommend the council denial of RZ 2025-9272.
Second.
Okay. Thoughts?
How many parking spots would that be for 6?
Depends on the type of operation, so if it's student housing, where they're leasing it by the bed, it would be 1.5 spaces per bed, so 27.
Not a lot.
If it is, just straight rental, not necessarily for student housing, it is 2 parking spaces per dwelling unit. So that would be, you said 6, so you'd have 12, 12 if it's just straight rental.
I don't think there's enough space for just the parking alone there.
We have on our preliminary.
I'm sorry. Any other?
I think
I
they-
just noticed this, it just seemed, in my opinion, a little out of place for the other residents around, and it's such a crowded area. That's just my opinion.
Right. Any other thoughts?
I think it's, 2.5 will fit better in this situation, and the parking really needs to be in the back from here on out with any kind of property shapes like these, because the parking up front is gonna end up on the street, and that's a very busy street to be doing, so.
All right, any more discussion? All right, all those in favor of recommending to council denial of this rezone request, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, gentlemen, so this goes forward to city council, the first Tuesday of the month. So you want to present your case to them there, and they'll make the final decision on this. Thank you for coming tonight. All right, application number RZ 9272, consider approval of, application number A9119, applicant Earl Ingram, representing South Texas Cement LLC, is requesting the assignment of industrial zoning for the recently annexed property known as 365 CR 177, parcel R 78588, being approximately 5.01 acres of the A0804 Williams MR survey of the city of Stephenville, Erod County, Texas. With the assignment of zoning, the commission is requested to recommend extension of the ETJ and subsequent revision of the Stephenville 2050 comprehensive plan. Mr. Killery.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioners, this parcel was voluntarily annexed on August 5th, 2025 by the City Council. We went through the legal notice requirements for that hearing, and the council again did vote to annex this property based on the voluntary petition. Based on Chapter 154-04C of our city ordinance, once a property is annexed into the city, we have 6 months to assign zoning, and we are not able to issue any building permits until we do have assignment of zoning. Looking at the way that area is developing and the type of projects that we see coming to these properties, we are recommending industrial zoning. The future land use is complete neighborhood, but that's just not how it's been developed up to this point. And so as we work our way east and north, that future designation would probably be something to give more consideration to. But given the development along 281 and on this side of the railroad tracks with the high fam industrial park, we feel industrial is an appropriate designation. Be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Killery?
Is this where the current Railsburg has been added into?
That's correct.
And they've already been working on this area?
That is correct.
Okay.
Why are we being asked to recommend an extension of the ETJ? Isn't the ETJ automatic when
You
you
can go-
annex property?
Great question. You can go, every time you annex property, you have a 1 mile distance.
Right.
From the edge of the property that is annexed.
So that's
You can
automatic,
basically
right?
extend.
We don't have to decide it?
Well, with the comprehensive plan, it's good to include it in the recommendation so that
I
it's,
see.
it's
Okay.
part of the hearing. Yes, sir.
So the motion, when it goes through, needs to include the extension of the ETJ.
Yes, ma'am.
And we are approving, we're not recommending to council? Or we're recommending to council?
You recommending, it's a
The council.
recommendation to the
Gotcha.
city council for
Okay.
the zoning and the extension of the ETJ. And also the update to the comprehensive plan, which is a land use document, so
Okay.
technically needs to have a public hearing.
3 of them. Oh, okay, got it, thank you. Is Mr. Ingram here tonight? All right, we'll go ahead and open a public hearing. Is there anybody here who wishes to speak in favor or against this rezone, or this zoning request? Close the public hearing, commissioners, we need a motion.
I recommend to council approval of A 919
Second.
as recommended,
As presented.
or as presented.
Thank you, and,
I'll second.
all right, any discussion? All those in favor of recommending to council, application number A 9119 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, next up.
Opposed to
The committee assignment, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The Developed Services Committee has, committee assignment 111-92025. The Development Services Committee has tasked the commission with the review and subsequent recommendation regarding the home occupation guidelines of section 154.03 of the zoning commission. Mr. Killen.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioners. HB 2464 became effective upon the governor's signature on June 12, 2025. And this bill established parameters for what is referred to as a no-impact home-based business. And that designation prohibits local government from being able to provide or regulate a no-impact home occupation. And so, reviewing our current home occupation guidelines, there's an opportunity to where we could step across that new regulation from the state that we cannot regulate those home-based businesses. So what we are recommending is an amendment to our existing code. And so I have in here your existing home occupation guidelines, which basically, in essence, what that's been in the past is that if you have a home occupation that doesn't violate these 7 criteria, then you could operate that home-based business without having a conditional use permit. If you did violate one of those 7 criteria, you would have to come to the P&Z and city council to request a home or occupation conditional use permit. Because of the new language in this bill, which is now a law effective June 12th again, this definition, what we're recommending is that we repeal our existing language, add a no-impact home-based business definition, which I've listed there for you, which is directly out of the state code, and then add a violation clause that if you have a business, basically I'm gonna paraphrase, if you have something other than a no-impact home-based business in operation without a conditional use permit, it's a violation of city ordinance. This has been reviewed by our city attorney and also by our Development Services Committee, and they again assigned it to P&Z for review and a recommendation back to the full council. With that, be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Killen?
So when we make the recommendation, we need to say that it's amending the section 154.03?
Commissioner, I believe I would be comfortable with just making a recommendation to adopt the proposed amendments as presented.
Okay.
Any other questions? I'll go ahead and open a public hearing. Is there anybody here who wishes to speak for or against these proposed recommendations? We'll close the public hearing, commissioners.
I recommend that I propose that we recommend to council approval of assignment 111-92025 with proposals. Is that right? Will that work? As presented.
Second.
Second. Okay, all those in favor of recommending to council as presented this committee assignment and recommended amendments, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I'm going to abstain. I'm an affected party.
Bruce is going to abstain. Got it. Thank you. That goes forward to council with positive recommendation. last up, application number PD 9339, PD update. Troy Kunkel, owner of 598 Westwood LLC, and co-owner Reese Flanagan are providing an update to the planned development PD for a property located at 817 West Washington, parcel 29583 of City Edition, block 62, lot 6A, 7, part of 14 and 17, 855 and 865 West Washington, parcel R29581 of City Edition, block 62, lots 4, part of 5 and 6B, and 873 West Washington, parcel R29580 of City Edition, block 62, lot 3 of the City of Stephenville, U.S. County, Texas. Mr. Gill.
Madam Chair, I'm so glad you read those into the thank you for that. Commissioners, on August 15, 2021, the applicant presented a conceptual plan to the Planning and Zoning Commission for an intended townhome development. P&Z recommended the City Council approve the PD, which occurred on December 2021. In March of 2023, the City Council approved a modified development schedule, and a PD update was also provided in November of 2024 and accepted by the Commission. That's attached in your packet this evening. The applicant is now returning with his annual update as required by city ordinance, and I will be happy to announce and steal some of your thunder. The civil plan set has been approved for this project, and they are actually starting construction at this point, which I'm sure is in his schedule. But Mr. Reardon was authorized to speak as a representative for 598 Westwood LLC by the owner, Mr. Troy Kunkel, and I have that email in my file. So with that, Madam Chair, I'd be glad to answer any questions. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Killen? Mr. Reardon, would you like to?
Sure.
So, you guys want me just to go over the schedule? Is that what we want to do?
Yeah,
Okay.
just give us an update.
All right, so we've, like I said, we've just gotten approved to proceed, and we have people on site right now. We're involved with the site utilities. So we've got, I don't know if you guys have that schedule, if that's handy, if you're looking at it, but anyway, so one of the things we got approved from Public Works is a kind of phase 1, phase 2, because these are going to be for sale. And so we are going to do all of the horizontal construction, everything in one shot, phase 1 and 2. So right now we're doing site utilities, the turn lane, all the public improvements. Then we'll be grading, surveying, getting ready to set form boards and pour our concrete, our site concrete. All that stuff, site concrete, foundations, east to west, the whole property we're gonna do. But we're only planning right now for phase 1 going vertical on those buildings 5 and 6. And so that's what we plan to have completed by that May 8th of 26. We should have all of the 11 units shown in phase 1 completed by then. And, you know, hopefully, shortly thereafter, we'll begin vertical construction on phase 2, so.
Thank you, sir. Do commissioners have any questions for Mr. Reardon?
I'm kind of wondering about the right-of-way easement that's supposed to be included in this. How long will that construction last?
So are you just talking about like in the TxDOT right away?
No, into the property behind.
Property behind.
I believe he's speaking about the access to Ms. Salcido's property.
Yeah, the temporary road access that we have going into the mobile home park, is that what you're saying?
Well, how long till the,
Oh, till the
Completed.
40-foot shared access is done. Yes, so that should be, let's see, what we got here. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Concrete. So we should be done by, I would say, mid-February. So be a few months, but we'll be done. So we'll get that phase 1 concrete complete, which includes that 40-foot shared access easement, straight shot back into their development there, the mobile home park. And we'll leave a little bit of a turnaround for the fire marshal in case they have to get in there and turn around. And then so we're gonna pour that, let it be curing out, and then we'll start forming the rest of the site concrete. So I would hope by mid-February, we're done and they've got that opened up, you know, clear access.
And then the access that you have around it right now, is that going to be able to support a fire truck?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we just got that approved by Brandon Lockenauer.
Okay.
And, yeah, I didn't see his email yesterday, but I just answered that before we came in.
I see that,
That
yes.
we're good. It should hold up just fine. We're gonna reassess it after this bout of rain we're getting ready to get. Next week, we'll look at it. If we need to bring in more base and recompact, we will. But we'll keep that maintained, so, you know, it's safe. And we're also planning on, I guess, on the south side, on our side of the road, we're gonna put more construction fencing up, so nobody's, you know, wandering off into construction. We're not impeding onto the road. We'll leave that just basically for the mobile home park.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
City staff, on the pre-construction meeting, we did mention to the developer that we were adamant about site safety and working with Ms. Salcido on access. The all-weather access to the back of the property has been reviewed by the fire marshal, as he mentioned. And so we have a path forward. Mr. Reardon received a call from Ms. Saucedo on Monday. I reached out to Mr. Reardon and put the two of them in communication, and they had a great conversation from my understanding, and I think they have a good path forward with Ms. Saucedo on accessing her property, making sure that her residents are not impacted negatively other than this temporary construction part that they're going to have to deal with. But
Absolutely.
appreciated you making that phone call.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, we'll make sure we can, you know, stay on good terms with them and, you know, minimize the disruption to their property, so, absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
You bet.
I'm going to go ahead and open up a public hearing. Is there anybody here who wishes to speak in favor or against this request to, or this update?
Is there gonna be a turn into that property off Waddy?
Yeah.
That's very.
Sir,
very
if you could come up to
narrow.
come up to the podium so that the people online can hear you, and state your name and your address. And state your
Dean
question.
Scott, and I'm representing my stepmother. She lives on 782 West Green Street, behind that, the street over from, we got a letter in the mail. And I just wondering if I don't know, are y'all gonna put a turn in off the highway into the property? Because that's right in front of the school. That thing, when school lets out, it's very,
Yeah.
it's a nightmare down there, and that's why I'm just asking.
Yeah.
And plus the parking, are those people gonna be able to park on that access going into the trailer park? You know that, that's basically what I'm wondering.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and allow Steve to answer that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So during the review process, yes, the Washington Street has a 100-foot right-of-way requirement. The developer was required to dedicate additional right-of-way, and we'll be making road improvements along that dedication. And that will include the turn lanes, as you mentioned. The access easement itself is a private access easement, and what I recall on how that was drafted many, many years ago, I believe at the turn of the century, it cannot be blocked by residents of the townhome development. So all of that, the actual access easement, and I'm gonna use the term policing of that, is not really a city function. It would be a civil matter. But again, we have a good working rapport with the developer and the owner of that property currently.
That's highway though, that's 377.
Well, I understood you were asking me about the access from 377 to the trailer park, and that's a private access.
I was just wondering if there's gonna be a turn in to go into that property.
Along 377, yes, sir, along
So that'd be
377.
city, right?
Along Washington Street, there will be an improvement of the roadway to allow a wider road and a turn lane.
That's what I was asking.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, anybody else wish to speak? I'll go ahead and close the public hearing, commissioners.
Recommend to council approval of this update.
I'll second.
All those in favor of,
Madam Chair, just kind of rule of procedure here. For this, after reviewing the ordinance more and the way we've handled it recently, the only reason this would have to go to to city council is if the commission chose to not accept the update.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll amend it to just approving this update.
Thank you.
All right, so do we have to vote on that amendment first? Or can we vote on the whole?
Vote on the amendment first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so, the amendment that stands is, simply, we are approving the update as stands. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And then the original motion of, recommendation of approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so, that is our entire agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, I need a, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight.